Smushed sandwich. Let's talk.
Smushed sandwich.
All right, so I'm gonna just play the next clip.
Done with trying to placate men's egos inside these videos. I'm done. Years ago, I used to talk about, oh, men are very simple and all this. I'm not doing that anymore. Ladies, please stop taking your direction from men. Men don't know what they're doing. They really don't. They don't really truly understand themselves. And they're trying to impound this advice upon you when they don't even really know what it's going to take. The average man, when looking for a partner, the average man looks for a woman who is on average 7 years younger than him. However, according to data, relationships that have at most a 3-year span between them, between the age of the woman and the man, with the woman being at most 3 years younger, those are the ones that are less likely to lead to divorce. The people are in the same background, they're in the same genre, they're in the same generation, they understand things, etc. Right? So we have men out there who are looking for women who are on average 7 years younger than them. So we're talking about a 32-year-old man, because if we start talking about really being at prime age to have a child after you yourself get out there into the world for just 4 years after college, let's say 25. We're talking about a 32-year-old man coming back to a 25-year-old young woman talking about, why won't you build me up? Oh, you see, this is why I don't want to talk about this.
All right. I'm gonna play the next part.
She done had a few bad experiences or whatever, man.
Yeah, I feel like she's triggered. I definitely sense that. She's got some triggers happening.
Yeah, she done had a few bad experiences because I don't know what the hell she talking about.
She talks about how a woman wants to come into the relationship with nothing more to offer than her vagina. See, this is what I'm saying. Women are not her target audience. What do you mean? Yeah, you don't understand. Vagina is connected to womb. It's connected to uterus, the ability to bring forth life into this world. This world is propagated by young women. These are the ones who give birth to the children. Nothing to come into the relationship but vagina. Womb is the most important part of continuing our species. The most important part.
All right.
I ain't right about that one. Yeah. But
I'm gonna just start this off. Because what she's saying, the womb and the woman is important, but it's not more important than the man's semen, sperm, and his penis. It's not more important. One cannot exist without the other. You can't make children without the other. So this whole the most important, how can it be the most important if they're both vital to produce life? That's all I'll say. Then y'all can take it. Ryan?
I'm trying to figure out a lane of where we're going with this, listening to this woman. Because I'm like, yeah, right. It's like, how on one end, it's like you sit there and say, how important the vagina. Now again, she didn't say this, but this is where my mind is going, right? You sit there and say how, like you sit there and you critique her for saying when a man say, well, all you bring to the table is a vagina. And then you're saying, well, that's vital. That is vital. That's the most important thing or whatever. And then for me, if I'm making the argument of how much I want the vagina, you mad at me for saying that's all I want. So how, when I'm making the argument, it's an issue. But if she's making the argument, you have a problem with it?
And I'll say this, I think she just went so far left.
Right. This is why I'm like, I don't know where to go anymore because I don't really understand what she's saying. And this is why I said she's conflicted. Like she heard this and she thought of something personal in her life that happened in the past. And she went off because she's not in one space when talking about this issue.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so sis got a notebook
Right.
that we can see. So she probably got more than one page of notes. And I'm like, you took all these notes. It's like, did you write your own interpretation of what sis said? Because I'm not fully 100% agreeing with the girl at the beginning of the video, but I got to say, I agree with her a bit more. Like, I don't know, her credibility. I'm like, is that a trailer she in? Well, no shade, whatever.
What?
But
That's hella shade. What?
it looked like them trailers that they be having on
The movie sets or whatever the case is.
movie sets. No shade if you live in a trailer. All that to say,
I don't even know what to say about this girl anymore.
but you see how that don't have nothing to do with nothing? That's how I feel her video is. So I can't even respond.
Right, exactly. Like I can't even really get set to say something to cause a problem when I don't even know what I want to say about this shit. Because it's like, yo, you all over the place with this, with your point. Like you're not even making a point. You're just talking. It's like, yo, for real.
I don't even know.
To be honest with you, I think she know that girl from somewhere personally. That girl must have did something to her somewhere. She must have dated her ex, something. She know that girl. She know her. I'm convinced.
Sharon.
I mean, listen, I feel like I agree with a portion of what she's saying, the power in the JJ and all of that.
The JJ.
Because I do believe there's truth in that aspect. And to be quite honest, traditionally speaking, women weren't working. So they weren't really coming to the table with more skills apart from domestic like skills, as well as the ability to carry a child. So it was totally okay for a woman to come to the table with nothing more than domestic skills and the ability to carry a child. So I don't know, like, it's like I see what she's saying in a sense, but then I don't know. I just feel like it's all over the place. I
don't want to I'm not trying to make sense of what this, and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
No, this is one thing it does make me think of though. It makes me think of, like, y'all know how Clubhouse is out now, and there's memes going around how you have people talking about how to make $1 million in 10 weeks, and like they live in the projects. That's the vibe she giving me. Like, she's not giving me somebody who has expertise on relationships. She's giving me somebody who, because like even the statistics she threw out about men want women 7 years younger than them on average, I'm just like, but where is this coming from? Like, that data, and she said her sources, I would be more inclined to listen. But I think that, like, even Sharon's point, what she's saying, is valuable, because even you can have a child without a penis, and you can't necessarily have one.
What?
So like, it doesn't have to be involved in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't have a child without the womb.
You can, excuse me, wait a minute. Y'all going way off. Y'all sound like, that's not biologically possible. Wait.
What I'm saying is that there doesn't have to be any connection.
No, you sound crazy, Lucy. You sound crazy.
Yo,
you cannot get sperm or semen without a penis.
Okay, but I know, but what I'm saying is they don't have to interact. So
Doesn't matter. You cannot, the energy from a man that produces that semen and sperm, human life can't exist without men. So you cannot say one thing is more important than the other. I'm sorry. It's just,
I didn't say that.
But that's what you're kind of insinuating.
I'm not in you. Okay.
That one left. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, like.
But what I'm saying is a fact. We're talking about relationships. You can go to a sperm bank and get the sperm. You don't have to have any interaction with the man, and you don't have to have.
I mean, that's true, but.
Okay, well then, if it's true, then period.
No, but see, this is a train of thought, and I think it's a wrong thought for people to think one is more important than the other.
I didn't say that.
But that's her point. That was her point, though. And
She
that's
didn't say one was more important.
yes, she did. She said the womb is the most.
She said the vagina is the most important thing. That's what she said.
Well, it is. Okay, so in a sense, it does. I mean, Martel probably not going to like to hear this, but
I'm not gonna like it neither because I heard you
here's the
start.
thing. Yes, in order to make a child, you need an egg and you need a sperm. However, it is the womb that grows the child. So there's an extra layer there that a woman
Have a child without the sperm and call me and let me know.
But there's
Word.
the whole 9 months of labor, 10 months of like.
No, wait.
Have a child without the sperm and call me and let me know how that works.
But see, this is the thing though. If a man just blatantly said, "Man, we don't need a womb. We don't need a woman to have," that's not important. My sperm is the most important. Yeah, I'm sitting here like, what the hell are you talking about? You're an idiot, right? So, but then when a
It's
woman
apples and
says,
oranges.
no, but I'm saying, but then when a woman says, no, my womb is the most important, that's supposed to be perfectly fine.
And for real, I think with a lot of women, because, and this is my opinion, I think women have in this world have actually really, because of the workforce, and now that they've really been able to have their voices heard, they've been able to say a whole lot of stuff to the point where it seems as if, like, because you have such a backing that is factual, and it's not.
It's not.
It's really not. And that has to stop, because when y'all sit there and say things, we don't need a man, you don't need this, that, and the third.
Nobody said the man is not needed. The
I
man
think they hope feelings like her.
Wait, no, but the way she's thinking and the way she's talking, that's the crux of where that talk comes from.
But you know what? Honestly, guys, there's layers to it, because you guys are here speaking like, oh, you're just as important, which I'm not saying you're not. But statistics wise, right, and experience wise, majority of men do not play an active role.
See, I don't like the numbers. I don't like the numbers because the numbers don't ever always tell a story.
Exactly, because
The numbers don't always ever tell a story. Numbers to me, numbers do lie, because numbers don't tell you the full story. Because regardless,
but bro, don't even go down that rabbit hole, because that's not even what we're talking about. We're talking about what is more important, the penis or the womb.
Neither is more. Nobody's saying one is more
I'm
important.
not
He
saying that.
is.
that's what she said. That's what she said.
And what
That's
you
what she
guys are
said.
and what you guys are doing are like reinforcing that. You're reinforcing comments right now.
But I think it's just a little bit absurd for y'all to make it seem like women don't do exponentially more labor in the process of birthing. It's like, okay, yes, you inseminate. It's the easy part. From there, the entire 10 months of a woman growing the child in her womb and then having to go through the traumatic event of birth, like, it's not to say more important. I'm not using those words, but I'm saying it's significant.
It is.
Not exist without that. And you could have spent 2 minutes and 5 pumps and you contributed to a child. And a woman has to do so much more.
I get it. I get it.
But hold on. The point she's making, Tiffany, you can have a dude can give you 2 hours, 5 hours, in order for him to give you that sperm sample, in order that created that kid that went to that went into your egg. You still would have been like, it still don't measure up to how long it takes to actually to give birth to a child. You would have said that as well. So to use 5 pumps, 5 hours, it wouldn't have made a difference. That don't necessarily still means as if like you're still more significant.
It was just funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. It's a funny line.
I don't know why men think that's so personal, honestly, because the reality is men do not, the birthing process overall, I'm sorry, men.
Are we actually really going here with this?
Let's move on, because
because I'm like, are we really doing this right now? Really?
It's because I think we're talking about two different things. I'm just trying to stay to the point that neither one is more important. You guys are talking about things that are true. The women do more work, they carry the baby, they go through labor. Nobody's trying to disregard that or take anything from that. But I'm saying the statement she made was that the womb is more important. It's the most important. And I just don't agree with that. But I'm gonna play the next video.
Like, I'm kind of tired of hearing this woman right now. For real.
Isn't that we need responsible, strong male figures in the home when daughters are growing up so that they don't come onto the internet saying foolishness like this young lady. Because let's talk about it, right? A woman comes into the relationship with her healing feminine energy, with her goddess divinity. Women balance men. And with the energy in which men navigate through this world, they need that feminine balance. This world would be destroyed under masculine rule. It would be destroyed. Okay. So she's like, if a woman can't come with the same energy, are you joking, madame? That's masculine energy. The desire for competition, for rising on the hierarchy, for making money, for being assertive, for this, the masculine is active, the feminine is rested. She's over here asking the impossible, and I believe that Black women have been put into the position of the impossible, where we are expected to be men's mama and savior, and then also be submissive at the same time.
Yo, she is so dramatic.
Like, really, we gonna keep doing this, man? Like,
Okay, who's starting? Should I start?
I'm telling you, that woman is she's off. Like, something happened to her in her past, and she's miserable, man. She's really miserable for real. Like, okay.
Yo, but I agree with the first thing she said about feminine energy being, men need that feminine energy back.
I'm not saying, no, you absolutely right. What real men don't want the energy of a good woman next to him? What, you know what I'm saying? Like, what men don't?
But then the record skipped.
Right.
And she started talking about, I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
That was like really one of the only things she said where I can necessarily be like, you know what? Yes. What dude don't want the comfort feel of a woman next to him? When he come into bed or whatever, I'm saying when he come into bed to just know that woman, that female energy next to him or whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like, what man wouldn't want to have that? So, I don't understand where she's going with. She's all over the place with this. And I'm like.
She is. But let me ask the lady just one question, though. Because I disagree with it, but I want to know what you guys think. When she was like, to be assertive or to be like, competitive, that's masculine energy. Do you guys think that that's masculine energy, or is that just human energy in the need to want to be better and improve yourself? Like, I don't understand.
She was talking about the need to improve. So I think that it's the way somebody's interpreting what she's saying, right? So here's the thing. I personally, because I am dominant in many other aspects of my life, like the work, like in a relationship, I absolutely do want to be on that receiving end of being able to take a step back and for the guy to take a step forward. That women are supposed to kind of just, we're kind of that calmness. We kind of take that back seat, and the man comes with that, like that fire, So I actually agree with that aspect of what she's saying.
Can I say this? Can I say this? And right. Once upon a time, more women was home and had to have their role was to just be a particular thing when women wasn't working. They were just home. They had a specific role once upon a time. Now women can, she can, call her own shots. She can do it how she wants to do it. But my thing is this, how much women, right? Let's say if she's making the same amount of money as a man, can come home and still feel like she can still rub his back, rub his shoulders because of, there's just her man. It doesn't have anything to do with her feeling like she's beneath him or whatever. But this is just what she wants to do because this is her man. And this is the point I'm making exists. And I said, this is why I asked the question. I've seen a lot of women that put up a video about their man, And it was some things that what they would do to support their man. There was a lot of women that did not like with what she wanted to do, because they didn't agree with that. They just didn't agree that they would do these things. Like, oh, why would you? Whatever it may be, you just don't agree to it. And my whole thing is like, but that's not true.
Let me ask you this though. So you're saying, women don't want to play the traditional role of women anymore? Is that...
I don't think it's a traditional role because again, it's not even just about the woman. Because my whole thing is this: there's a lot of men that actually do the support thing for their woman, but there's a lot of women, because they making their own money, they don't feel the need to play the, cook and clean version of what a woman once was, because now she's making money.
Can
I get in here? Yeah. Because I want to say that, like, to the point of masculine and feminine energy, I don't hear those terms. I don't think that they're synonymous with gender identity. So I think that both men and women, like, I have masculine energy. I'm a very feminine woman, but I have, like, as Marcelo says, an overachiever. And a lot of people would say that that is like the masculine energy in me. So I just want to say that. But I think a big issue with this is like, she's contradicting herself throughout the entire thing, because she started off by saying, why can't women choose? They can have whatever standard they want to have. And what she's doing throughout the course of this video is contradicting the fact that a woman can choose. If a woman wants a man to be a project, that's her choice, that's her journey, that's her path. You don't know if she chose that, that's her business. Mm-hmm. Woman wants LeBron James, Elon Musk, that's her choice, that's her path. That don't mean she's gonna get it, you know what I'm saying? Like, the man also has to choose that woman. And so my thing is like, people need to stop trying to police other people's relationships and dictate to other people what your relationship needs.
I agree with that.
You can have whatever relationship you want to have, and the two people in the relationship get to decide. Women don't need to be telling other women what kind of relationship they need to have. Men don't need to be telling women, and vice versa. Like, everybody has a choice.
I would say this: if you're unhappy and you're speaking out about it, then you're inviting for people to tell you what you should and shouldn't do.
That's true too.
If you're happy and people just see your happiness, then those people need to mind their business that they don't agree with what's going on in your life.
That's true.
That's all. I'm gonna just say that.